stop. If you are listening to this, do not assume it doesn't apply to you. That assumption is not confidence. It is conditioning. Control does not arrive loudly. It does not announce itself. It does not kick down doors. Control is quiet. It is subtle. It feels familiar. It feels reasonable. It feels like you choosing peace, when in reality, it is you choosing silence. Most people believe control comes from power, from money, from authority, from fear. That belief is comforting because it suggests that as long as no one is threatening you, you are free. That belief is wrong. Real control comes from predictability. If someone can predict how you react, they do not need power over you. They already have access. If someone knows you avoid conflict, they know how far they can push. If someone knows you explain yourself, they know they can exhaust you. If someone knows you feel guilty easily, they know they can make you stay. This is not manipulation through force. This is manipulation through pattern recognition. And the most dangerous part is that you are often praised for the very behaviors that make this possible. You are praised for being understanding, for being patient, for being the bigger person, for not making things awkward. Over time, you learn something without realizing it. You learn that your discomfort is less important than other people's comfort. So you swallow words, you soften reactions, you justify feelings, you explain boundaries instead of enforcing them. You tell yourself you are being mature, but every unnecessary explanation is a signal. It says you doubt your right to say no. It says you are open to negotiation. It says your limits are flexible. It says pressure works on you. Manipulative people do not need to be intelligent. They do not need to be evil. They only need to notice patterns. The first time they push and you fold, they take note. The second time, they expect it. The third time, they rely on it. This is how control is built. Not in moments of intensity, but in moments you dismiss as small. A favor that feels slightly wrong. A comment you let slide. A boundary crossed just once. Each time, your nervous system adjusts. You survive it, so it becomes normal. You are not weak, you are adaptive, and adaptation, when unexamined, becomes a cage. The most controlled people are not the least intelligent. They are often the most empathetic. Because empathy creates internal conflict. Empathy makes you question yourself before questioning others. Empathy makes you search for explanations instead of exits. You start saying things like, "They didn't mean it. They're just stressed. I don't want to overreact." And slowly the focus shifts. It stops being about what was done to you. It becomes about how you should handle it better. That is the pivot point. That is where control takes root. Manipulation does not require lies. It requires confusion. And confusion thrives when you are tired. When you are constantly explaining, defending, clarifying, and justifying, your system gets overwhelmed. You do not comply because you agree. You comply because you want the conversation to end. Silence feels like relief. Compliance feels like rest. You tell yourself you would notice if it were that bad. You wouldn't. Control becomes the pattern. By the time you feel trapped, you are already explaining why leaving is complicated. Manipulators are not threatened by strength. They are threatened by unpredictability. When you pause instead of explaining. When you say no without context. When you allow silence to exist, their script fails. They were never controlling you. They were controlling the version of you that explained itself. This does not mean becoming cold. It means becoming aligned. When you stop negotiating your worth, control loses access. Most people will hear this and change nothing. A few will pause. Those people become difficult to control, not because they dominate, but because they stop participating. Control does not require force, only permission. And permission is often given through habits you never questioned. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it.